Good morning. We're out here from the J&J Mining Company in Yarnell, Arizona. I'm Jerry Brandt, and this is my son Jerry Jr. And we have a wide variety of products for mining, prospecting, and just general treasure hunting. We would like to show you basically today is what we call the Knudsen bowls, and which we want to show you our store, and then we'll go to the house and do the Knudsen bowl demonstration and show you how good they work on recovering the gold from your ore. And I hope you enjoy the film, and we'll do a major effort here to really get you started. We're at the house now, and this is my little testing system here, where we have two Knudsen bowls set up in series here. This is the normal way you would want to run them in an operation. This type of an operation will handle 4 to 5 yards an hour of placer material, up to 7 yards of material that's ground to 100 mass, say for your hard rock operation for extracting your gold. In a normal operation of larger volumes, you would have parallel sets of these units, so that each 5 yards or 7 to 7 yards an hour would be selectively parted and go through each individual set, so you would have an unlimited amount of how much material you could run and effectively catch the gold out of it. If you wanted to be really particular, you would put a concentrating table on the end of the second bowl so that you could monitor the bowl. The first bowl is said to pick up about 85% of the values. The second bowl picks up the other 15%. And if you see any gold on the table, you would know that the bowls are full. There's a lot of copies of the Knudsen bowls, whereas these bowls have been around since 1942. And everybody and their brother has copied this. This is the original centrifugal concentrator. Matter of fact, this bowl here is from the 40s. This one up here is a brand new one. These bowls here are still the cheapest bowl, or cheapest concentrating bowl as far as dollar value that there is, but still have the highest recovery value as long as you give them an even feed of your slurry rate and your water volume, and have them tuned with the variable pulley. It's very important that you run these bowls between 102 and 106 RPMs. Give them approximately a 20% slurry feed with approximately 60 to 65 gallons of water a minute. And with those parameters right there, you will get gold so fine that if you don't wash your arms when you go to clean them down, the oil off your arm will simply make the gold jump right to the top, and it'll be lost. So the centrifugal force really adds to this. To give you a better idea about what we're talking about as far as G-force, a table would have 1 G-force, which would be 1 gravity force of an actual concentration. These have like a 30 times that. So you can actually see that if the slurry is passing up over the rings, that the G-force would actually throw the higher specific gravity particles into the rings, and they would stay there. The Knudsen bowl has a rubber liner that is a one-piece high-pressure injected mold. There's a launder in the middle that makes the slurry go all the way to the bottom. The bowl is rotating, and the slurry has to come up over and out into the outward catch ring, and then on to the next bowl or out for the tails. I use a trommel here, which is this. They're simply to wash the material. You would be using a larger shaker trommel, a shaker grizzly, which would be a sizing screen, or a trommel itself, so you could run larger yardages. There isn't any limit to how much material you could run. You could set these up so they would run 30 yards an hour. If you would want to run up to 300 yards an hour, I would highly suggest using a UHF classifier and jigs in incorporation with the bowls, so that you would get a higher amount of yield through the machine, and then the bowls could just deal with the concentrates. They wouldn't be dealing with direct ore themselves. That would be set up so that the material would be sized to 3/8 minus, would pass over the UHF classifier. The UHF classifier has real fine slots in it and turns it at ultra high frequency. the fine gold and black sand drops right through it and would be fed to the bowls. The material would then pass on to a set of jigs, which would pull all the bigger gold out. The jigs would also work about 300% better because they wouldn't be dealing with all that black sand, that fine gold. The bowls and the UHF classifier have already removed it before it ever got to the jig. With that type of a system, you'd be looking at about a 97% recovery rate out of your material. We have those complete units set up to run 30 yards an hour or 50 yards an hour of material off of each individual circuit. So then you could parallel them if you wanted to run 200 or 300 or 400 yards an hour of 3/8 minus material minus, and get a very, very high yield out of your ore. So let me show you now the inside of the bowls, and then we'll go ahead, and we have some material here that has some gold in it, hopefully, and we'll run it and see what we get. This is looking down inside the Knudsen bowl as the launder has been removed. And as you can see, it has 17 individual downward J-type rings. And then there's the outward catch basin, which goes around, and then the pipe goes down and goes into the next bowl, which gives you kind of a double whammy, and then on to the tails. These individual little arms down in there stop the vortex effect, which would just make the gold want to spin around and around and around and around. And it gives it time, it stops the material, and then gives the time for the G-force to take over and pull the gold out of the slurry, so it has to pass over those each individual rings. The hole on the bottom is your clean out hole, which actually when you're ready to clean down, you reach in, pull the cork, and put a 5-gallon bucket underneath them, and drop the material out. Simply wash it with a wash this down with a water hose, let all your material go in there, put your plug back in, fire them up, and you're back in business. It takes less than about a minute. Very simple design, very high gold recovery capabilities. Use the motor pump here because I don't have enough utility water to make this run, because you need about 65 gallons of water a minute. I have the material here. We're going to go ahead and run it and then show you what we get. So I'm going to have to run it back through it several times until we get it all broke out. And that's exactly the reason for having the trommel. So just bear with me a little bit here so we can get a good wash of this material. A lot of times where the gold is right at the clay layer, or like 1 inch into the clay layer. So the material I got here, that's what I did. I went out and found an area that was real red material, and I dug that into clay just a little bit. So then you got to deal with washing it very good. So that's why I'm having to run it back to the trommel 2 or 3 times here. Just bear with me, please. Simply shut your water off. Let the water in the bowls go about 1/3 down so you don't have so much water to deal with. It's real simple to clean down. It takes less than about a minute and a half per bowl. I'll just let them run here and then I'll go ahead and pull the power. Like I said earlier, this is just a test system. This is just to show you how good this works. In a normal operation, these would all be set in parallel units where all you do is simply, you can either take the launder out like this, you put a 5-gallon bucket underneath there. I did wash my hands, and pull the plugs. Everything drains out through the hole in the bottom of the liner. Okay, the water's going down now. If you want to see real quick if you have some gold, you know, like if you're running a test or something, you can simply just wash the 3 bottom rings down and just take a kind of a gander and you'll be able to see. And I can tell already there's gold in there. Wow, look at it. There's some pretty good gold out there. And you'll see that it'll want to hang back and all your lights will go in. And all this is showing you, hey, yeah, there's, you know, this will tell you, yeah, we got what we were after. You see this? Right? Oops. Okay. There's some big stuff got by the trommel there. See the gold? That's just a quick, easy way to see how well the bowls did, real quick. Yep. That's all gold. That's all free plastic gold nuggets right there. Go ahead and wash them down in, and wash the rest of the bowl down here. The lighter, the fines tend to be up in the rings. That's pretty good gold in that little spot there that we went out and got this material. You can feed these bowls 1/8" minus, and the whole reason for not going any bigger, and as you can see right here, that there's rocks locked in here, and that defeats the entire purpose of the centrifugal force. So you want to make sure you don't have any rocks that size. 1/8" minus. Look at that nice piece there. Fits that? Mm-hmm. Zoom in. Do is just pan it down. If you have a lot of concentrates and have a series of these bowls, you would most likely want to have 2 more set up that you could just take at all the concentrates and simply just rerun them. And what that would do is give you an extremely high grade concentrate, which you could probably just run right in the smelter. Right in the smelter and fire it and pour your gold bar. Make it real simple. You wouldn't have to go through trying to catch all the little fines and stuff. Just simply dry it, charge it with a flux, pour it in the furnace and pour it. Pour out your bar. If you're dealing with you know, several hundred pounds up to a ton of concentrates a day, it's much easier. I'm going to use a little safety here just in case. I'm going to get a little carried away here. Let's see what we got here. Oh. And as you can see, even though that material was very clay, the Knudsen bowls did their job. Mucho grande oro. As you can see now, with a simple very good job out of those few little buckets of tests that we ran there. And that's a pretty nice gold for being right around here in Arizona. And anywhere you're running, even though this was a high clay material, and there's probably some stuff that needs to be broke up even better, is that the Knudsen bowls do a very good job. So for their simple operating parameters, the low cost, the low power requirements, and no special water requirements other than around 60 gallons a minute. They're a very, very economical unit. And you can contact us here at the J&J Mining Company. Our phone number is 1-502-520, excuse me, they just changed it, 427-3802. And we'll be glad to help you with getting your bowls and also helping you run tests. We run tests for $30 a 5-gallon bucket. Feel free to size your material to 1/8 inch minus and ship it to us UPS, DHL, and they will deliver it here. We will run your samples, either return the concentrates directly to you or have them analyzed, giving you a complete and diagnostic report on your material as far as how good the bowls did. That way you will know for sure how good the bowls worked on your material. And there will be no guessing when you go to install these units in your operation. These units are very versatile, where they can be used for either dredging, high banking, screen wash plants, or large trommel operations. I want to thank you for your time, and remember this, that where there's gold, there's money. Thank you.